Hello and a warm welcome. You're watching WION World is One. This is World DNA. I'm Kripa. Let's get started with the top headlines we're tracking for you at this hour.
मेरा अनशन कितना पवित्र था, मैंने तोड़ा तो किसके हाथों तोड़ा, उसके हाथों क्यों तोड़ा, इसके हाथों क्यों नहीं तोड़ा, क्या डील हुआ, क्या सौदा हुआ।
Sonam Wangchuk says he ended his hunger strike after receiving written assurances from centre denying any deal with the government. He alleges restrictions at Vedanta Hospital and says he may approach Delhi High Court over a court order violation.
मेरे जो वीडियो पोस्ट किया था उसको जिस प्रकार से आपने रिस्पॉन्ड किया, सकारात्मक सुझाव दिए, थैंक्स टू एवरीबॉडी।
Prime Minister Modi thanks youngsters for their positive response and suggestions to his late-night video message, saying their support has strengthened his connection and relationship with them. US military says it disabled a tanker ship attempting to evade a blockade on Iranian ports after the crew ignored repeated warnings. CENTCOM says forces fired into engine room, stopping vessel from continuing toward Iran. Saudi Arabia strikes Houthi military targets in Hodeidah after the Iran-backed group announced a maritime blockade and attacked Saudi-linked ships. The strikes targeted sites threatening Red Sea shipping, with 2 people reportedly injured. Russian drone strike on a post office in Ukraine Sumy kills 2 people, while another attack in Zaporizhzhia injures 1. Strikes follow a Russian missile attack near Kyiv that killed at least 10 people and injured nearly 100. Canada opens Gordie Howe Bridge on its own after cancelling a joint ceremony with the United States following new tariff tensions. Leaders highlight cooperation while President Trump criticizes Canada's decision. Historic wildfire in Spain's Madrid region forces more than 60,000 people to evacuate or stay indoors. Strong winds and extreme heat worsen the blaze, which destroys homes and remains beyond firefighters' control. SpaceX's Starship completes its first test flight since company goes public, successfully splashing down intact in the Indian Ocean. Elon Musk hails the mission, which aims to collect heat shield data from the latest Starship model. Two U.S. small businesses are suing the Trump administration over new forced labor tariffs, arguing the measures exceed presidential authority. The companies are asking a federal trade court to block the tariffs from taking effect. Out of focus on World DNA, Russian drone strike in Ukraine Sumy has killed 2 people, while another attack in Zaporizhzhia injured 1. The strikes followed a Russian missile attack near Kyiv that killed at least 10 people and injured nearly 100. Officials claimed that a post office has been attacked in a jet-powered drone strike in a residential area. One of those killed in the attack was a 49-year-old man, while the identity of the second victim has not yet been established. This comes after a deadly ballistic missile in the Ukrainian capital, Kyiv, The Russian strike at Defense Industry Expo has killed at least 10 people, injured nearly 100 others. The strike came just a day after Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky met senior executives from a major American defense contractor called Raytheon in Kyiv. Raytheon manufactures on the Patriot air defense system, which Ukraine relies on to intercept Russian ballistic missiles. The company has not confirmed whether any of its employees were present at the event. According to Ukrainian officials, at least 27 homes and 44 vehicles have also been damaged in the Russian attack. Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky said that Russia could launch new missile strikes over the next 48 hours. He has warned that Russia has prepared missiles for a new massive strike on Ukraine. He has also added that intelligence showed that Moscow intended to boost its troop numbers in coming days.
We know from intelligence sources and our partners that the Russians have prepared missiles for a new massive strike against Ukraine. This strike could happen today. Preliminary information indicates it will occur within the next 48 hours. Please stay safe and pay attention to air raid sirens.
At the same time, emergency crews are carrying out rescue and bomb disposal operations in the eastern Ukrainian city of Sloviansk. This comes after Russian forces struck the city center with guided aerial bombs, which had wounded at least 16 people, including a child. At a time when Ukraine is battered by Russian strikes, Zelensky administration is facing protests over removal of former defense minister Mikhailo Fedorov. The protests demanding the return of former defense minister continue into the second week, and according to experts, it is spiraling into a political crisis for the Ukrainian government. Meanwhile, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has claimed that US has changed its position on Anchorage agreements. According to him, statements made by US Secretary of State Marco Rubio indicate that Washington has changed its attitude toward the previous agreements reached in Alaska.
Our conscience is clear. As you know, the boy's word, the boy said, the boy did. We said, and we are ready. From the US side, the approach has already been modified, judging by Rubio's quote, but the task set by Putin in June 2024, as he repeatedly emphasized, will be fulfilled.
US President Donald Trump says he has not yet decided whether to order major strikes on Iran, even as military tensions continue to escalate across the region. Trump says he believes Iran is now taking negotiations more seriously than before. The US military says it disabled a tanker ship attempting to evade a blockade on Iranian ports after the crew ignored repeated warnings. US Central Command said forces fired into the vessel's engine room, stopping it from continuing toward Iran. Officials also said the ship is no longer heading toward Iranian waters. In southwestern Iran, explosions were reported in the city of Ebaz after US missile strikes. Iranian state media said 4 people were killed and 5 others were injured. Now, air raid sirens also sounded in Bahrain on Saturday as regional tensions continued to rise. The Interior Ministry urged citizens and residents to remain calm and move to the nearest safe location amid ongoing concerns over attacks linked to the Iran conflict. Well, regional tensions, they have spread to key shipping routes as well. A Saudi vessel was reportedly hit in the Red Sea, sustaining minor hull damage days after Yemen's Iran-backed Houthi rebels announced a maritime blockade targeting Saudi-linked shipping. In retaliation, Saudi Arabia launched strikes on Houthi targets in Yemen, reportedly injuring 2 people. The United Nations has expressed deep concern over the escalating violence, warning that attacks on commercial shipping could further destabilize the region and disrupt global trade. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, through his spokesperson, has urged the Houthis to halt attacks on commercial shipping.
The Secretary General is deeply alarmed by the resumption of Houthi attacks on commercial vessels transiting in the Red Sea and the renewed threats to maritime navigation. The Secretary General calls for an immediate de-escalation and urges Houthis to refrain from any further attacks or other escalatory actions.
Speaking at the White House, Trump emphasized that while the U.S. is prepared to escalate, a diplomatic solution remains his most preferred option. His remarks come amid reports of high-level security meetings and continued U.S. strikes on Iranian targets.
Look, we're talking to them right now. I think they're getting more and more serious as the days go by, for maybe the obvious reason. But we are talking to them right now. Look, there are two ways. I consider that the smarter way, but the other is probably the easier way, doing what we're doing. There's a military exit where we just keep going just the way we are, and we can even make it a heavier dose, and it's knocking out everything they have. Or there's a smarter strategy, and that's you make a deal, and they want to make a deal. I just don't think they're ready yet.
Meanwhile, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi rejected U.S. pressure and threats. Speaking on the sidelines of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization meeting in Kyrgyzstan, he said Iran would not bow to threats and would continue to defend its national interests. America's job market is in a slump to pandemic-era levels, and the data from Indeed confirms it. In this next report, we dive into the numbers to understand America's weakening job market. Take a look.
U.S. job postings on the jobs posting platform Indeed fell 3.5% year-on-year for the week ending July 10th. And that marks this year's lowest point. Zoom out, and the picture gets starker. Postings are down 37.2% from their April 2022 peak, dragging the market back to February 2021 levels. Available vacancies are now barely above pre-pandemic norms. They're just 1% higher than February 2020, a level once considered a floor, not a ceiling. A leading indicator of fresh hiring intent, new postings tell an even sharper story, down nearly 11% year-on-year. That is the weakest reading since early January. The latest puts new postings 3.5% below their pre-COVID baseline. This is a 4-year downtrend that keeps finding new lows. Indeed's own June snapshot show its job postings index at 101.0, with year-on-year demand still negative at minus 3.7%. That is despite the pace of decline slowing marginally. Official data adds context. May JOLTS openings were flat at 7.6 million. June payrolls added just 57,000 jobs, marking the weakest of recent months. While unemployment ticked down to 4.2%, that was largely on shrinking labor force participation rather than robust hiring. The signal here is a low hire, low fire economy. Companies are not slashing jobs, but they have stopped creating new ones. That is consistent with employers staying cautious amid tariff uncertainty. Elevated borrowing costs and AI-driven restructuring in white-collar sectors like tech and professional services. Markets should brace for the June and July JOLTS releases to confirm what Indeed's real-time data already shows. America's job engine is idling and not accelerating. The Fed will be watching closely to see what to do next, amidst bets for higher inflation from the escalating tensions in West Asia. Business Bureau Report, WION World is One.
Let's get you some updates from the world of sports now. Pep Guardiola has rejected Italy's offer to become the national team's new head coach, while Carlo Ancelotti will also not take over the role. Italy Football Federation President Giovanni Malago openly expressed his admiration for Guardiola, who left Manchester City after spending 10 years at the club, even making a financial exception just for him. Malago was ready to offer Guardiola a €10 million per season deal. The Italian Football Association believed he was the perfect fit for the Italy job. However, Guardiola has turned down the Italy head coach role. He believes he needs a break from management and remains unsure about his role in international football. Before turning their attention to Pep Guardiola, Italian FA technical director Paolo Maldini revealed that the first approach was made to Carlo Ancelotti, who is currently the head coach of Brazil. However, both the Brazilian Football Federation and Carlo Ancelotti confirmed they will continue their partnership despite Brazil's World Cup disappointment. With Guardiola and Ancelotti ruling themselves out, reports have now emerged that former Italy midfielder Andrea Pirlo now leads the race for Italy head coach job. Pirlo is currently the head coach of UAE club Dubai United and has previously coached Italian club Juventus. Remember, Italy have not qualified for the last 3 World Cups. Let's talk about the global box office now. It is bracing for a colossal collision this holiday season. The calendar is setting the stage for what many are already dubbing Barbenheimer 2.0. Marvel Studios and Warner Brothers, they're both locked December 18th for their big releases of the year, which include Avengers Doomsday and Dune Part 3. With both studios refusing to blink, industry insiders are warning that the standoff could fracture the global audience and ignite a fierce box office battle over premium, large format screens. On one hand, there is Avengers Doomsday. The movie is relying heavily on the return of original Avengers, including Chris Evans as Captain America, Chris Hemsworth as Thor. Robert Downey Jr., however, will be returning too, but as Dr. Doom. On the other hand, there is Dune 3, which promises a conclusion to their epic saga. Both films are currently slated to hit theaters worldwide on December 18. This clash has theater owners deeply worried. You see, when Barbie and Oppenheimer were released on the same date, it did not cause a lot of worry among theater chains. The Barbenheimer wave was attracting 2 separate kinds of fan bases under one roof, and eventually both movies witnessed success. However, these 2 epics are competing for the exact same demography. Since theaters simply do not have enough premium screens to give both blockbusters IMAX screenings, splitting the premium format revenue threatens to severely hurt the commercial prospects of both films' opening weekends. As mentioned by Deadpool in its 2024 blockbuster release, Deadpool and Wolverine Marvel is at its low point, and now the studio needs a hit to get back in shape. With early premium tickets are already rolling out for Doomsday, Marvel has made their stance very clear. They are standing their ground. This December, the ultimate question will not just be about the big winner of the season, rather, who will blink first and move their release date. Now, we know that historically in Hollywood, most movies which release in late December end up becoming a $1 billion blockbuster by next year, and it is usually a single release. Back in 2025, it was James Cameron's 3rd installment of Avatar, which had hit theaters. The movie eventually went on to become a $1 billion blockbuster in 2026. Moving on, one of South Korea's biggest summer attractions is back. Thousands of tourists from across the world have flocked to Daejeon Beach for the annual 29th Boryong Mud Festival. This is a unique event that has turned into a global celebration of fun, tourism and culture. Our next report tells you more.
It's smooth and slippery, but it doesn't feel sticky. It feels moist and slightly thick. I think foreigners would like it. And also, since the club music here is really blasting, I think it's more than enough for people in their 20s and 30s to come and enjoy. It's really fun.
With that, we wrap up World DNA's this edition, but more news and updates wait on the other side. Make sure you're stay tuned to WION World is One. Thank you.
The Mini Cooper S will bring zest into your life.
There's absolutely nothing like driving a car like this, the new Mini Cooper S, on a Monday morning to drive away the blues.
The BSA Scrambler is one heck of a good-looking ride. A content creator needs all the tools of the trade.
That's where you're wrong.
It's not?
No,
it looks like a headphone.
It's a fan.
But the secret to going fast on track remains much the same.
Slow is smooth and smooth is fast.
Catch Diksha's wire-to-wire win in a go-kart race, our shenanigans in a Mini Cooper S, and a morning ride on a retro bike. All these stories and more in this week's episode of WION Drive at these times.
From the bustling trading floors of Wall Street to the vibrant exchanges of Asian stock markets, WION breaks it down for you to make sense of what's happening, as we reveal the key factors behind events, strategic battles, and the game-changing business decisions that shape the world. We bring you all of this and more on World Business Watch.
Know more, understand better, think ahead. Hello and a very warm welcome. You are watching Gravitas with me, Molly Gambhir. Get the facts, not the bombast. On the 26th of March, dynamic pricing, Baloch separatists, Gravitas cuts out the clutter. Gravitas keeps calm when others scream. Gravitas brings news to life. Weekdays, 9 p.m. IST, 3:30 p.m. GMT. Gravitas. Seeing is believing.
The Israeli drone is above our heads all the time in Lebanon. More than 200,000 civilian homes have been destroyed. This looks like it used to be a toy for a little girl. Can't but wonder while I'm walking between all of this rubble, how many lives were destroyed, how many kids were traumatized, how many women lost their families. If this isn't a war crime, then what is? From the southern suburb of Beirut, I'm Radi Francis for WION World is One.
WION India's global voice, the channel that brings you the biggest stories from across the world through India's lens. Now available in more than 190 countries worldwide. Because we believe that the world is one. Watch us in Africa, Europe, USA and Canada, South America, Asia Pacific, Middle East and North African regions. Also available on these digital platforms across the world. WION. World is one.
Campaigns, elections, alliances, controversies, and power play. Stories that analyze global and domestic politics. A dedicated show